Hi guys, welcome to Counterpoints. My name is Connor, and today we're going to be breaking down Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Part 2, effectively the beginning of the Clone Wars. For setup, Obi-Wan Kenobi was dispatched to investigate the assassination attempts against Senator Amidala. He discovered a clone army on the planet of Kamino made for the Republic by a murdered Jedi Master Sifo Dyas. The clone army was based on the bounty hunter and assassin Jango Fett, whom Obi-Wan suspects in the attempts on Senator Amidala's life. He followed Jango to the planet of Geonosis, discovering a massive concentration of separatist forces, including a droid invasion fleet. With a damaged communication beacon, Obi-Wan is forced to relay a distress signal via his Padawan Anakin Skywalker, who is currently charged with protecting Senator Amidala. Anakin, one of the most powerful Jedi to ever live, has fallen to his emotions. Firstly, he has fallen in love with Senator Amidala, a violation of the Jedi Code that he is unrepentant about. Secondly, sensing his mother's distress, he returns to the planet of Tatooine, finding her kidnapped by Tusken raiders. Tuskens are indigenous to the planet of Tatooine, and their actual biology and appearance is unknown. This is because they are extremely hostile and xenophobic species, believing all other sapient life on Tatooine to be trespassers. They are nomadic, traveling in clans of several dozen, and survive off the few wells known to them as jealously kept secrets. The harsh desert environment of Tatooine has led the Tuskens to wear conservative garb that covers them head to toe, and those clothes are only removed during special events, such as marriage and childbirth. The Tuskens will kill any outsiders who go near their water sources and will also raid moisture farms, viewing it as a religious affront. They will raid, pillage, barter, and trade to survive, but primarily will only deal with Jawas unless absolutely necessary. This has given them a terrible galactic reputation, effectively known as a barbaric menace on a backwater planet. Anakin finds his mother only in time for her to die of exhaustion, sending him into a rage. Anakin massacres the Tusken Raiders, men, women, and children. While Senator Amidala is shocked by Anakin's behavior, she's ultimately sympathetic. When Anakin is ordered to stand down by the Jedi Council and to wait for a strike team to save Obi-Wan, Senator Amidala reminds Anakin it's his duty to protect her, and that she is going to Geonosis to save his master. This sparks a loving appreciation from Anakin, happy that his love is willing to risk herself to help him. Ultimately, they are captured and forced into the fighting pits by the Geonosians. After narrowly surviving a menagerie of beasts, the trio are on the verge of execution in dire need of salvation.
Master Windu, how pleasant of you to join us.
This party's over.
Brave, but foolish, my old Jedi friend. You're impossibly outnumbered.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
Aren't moving. I must need maintenance.
What's all this noise? A battle! There's been some terrible mistake. I'm programmed for etiquette, not destruction. Die, Jedi gods! What did I say? Oh dear, I'm terribly sorry about all this. Excuse me, I'm trapped. I can't get up.
You call this a diplomatic solution?
No, I call it aggressive negotiations.
Uh-oh. Roger, roger.
R2, what are you doing here? What are you doing? Oh, stop that! You're going to strain something. My neck! Oh, now where are you taking me? Oh, this is such a drag. Oh, I'm quite beside myself. R2, please be careful. You're sinking my circuits. But is my head on straight?
Master Windu, you have fought gallantly. Worthy of recognition in the archives of the Jedi Order. Now, it is finished. Surrender, and your lives will be spared.
We will not be hostages to be bartered, Dooku.
Then, I'm sorry, old friend.
Count Dooku originally tried to recruit Obi-Wan Kenobi with a lure. He truthfully said that the Senate was under the sway of a Sith Lord and that a plot to overthrow the Republic was underway. What Count Dooku neglected to mention was that he was Darth Sidious's apprentice, Darth Tyrannus, and he wished to overthrow the Dark Lord for his own ends. Finding Obi-Wan to be obstinate, he turned him over to the Geonosians for execution in their Colosseum. The Geonosians were an intelligent race of insectoid creatures. Born in hives, a queen could lay millions of eggs of drones who would toil endlessly, but could compete to ascend to warriorhood in the arenas of Geonosis. Those who proved themselves would be permitted to grow exoplate armor and wings, ascending to the upper echelons of society for males. The natural industriousness of their species led to them creating massive foundries. These foundries, in turn, were used to create the droid armies and ships of the Separatists, making them an incredibly valuable ally. Poggle the Lesser, the Archduke of the Geonosians, ascended to power over the planet under the patronage of Darth Sidious. Here, he was instrumental in building the army of the Separatists and in designing the battle station later known as the Death Star. Just as the Archduke tires of the arena battle and is on the verge of ordering the Jedi and Senator executed by sonic blasters, the Jedi strike team reveals themselves, confronting the Separatists. Jedi Master Windu confronts Count Dooku. They were once peers and friends, and so it is a particularly bitter treason that pulls them onto opposite sides of this conflict. An initial confrontation sees Mace Windu leaping away from the blaster and flamethrower fire of Jango Fett into the center of the arena to rally the strike team. Geonosian civilians flee as the Jedi side through droids and Geonosian troops. The problem, of course, being that quantity is its own quality. Progressively, Jedi are cut down, but not before taking a tally of their own. Jango sees the Reek, a powerful, bullish rhinoceros creature, attack the Jedi and wishes to capitalize on the chaos. Jango pursues Mace Windu into the Colosseum, a fatal mistake. While he is formidable, the Reek damages Jango's jetpack, limiting his mobility. The Reek is an omnivorous herd animal found on several planets that are territorial but normally defensive. Feeding them meat heightens their aggression, meaning that those Reeks recruited for the Colosseum are fed a steady diet of flesh. Their tough hides are capable of absorbing blade strikes and blaster shots, but are not impervious. Jango lands a skull shot, felling the powerful creature. Mace in turn capitalizes on the chaos and closes with and ultimately beheads the bounty hunter. An Acklay, one of the beasts sent to execute Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme, attacks Obi-Wan from the rear. Acklay are fierce creatures who share amphibian, reptilian, and crustacean traits. They are ambush predators from the planet of Verdaxa, where they stalk prey in the shallows, shredding them with powerful bladed limbs and razor-sharp teeth. Rearmed with a lightsaber, Obi-Wan Kenobi easily and brutally executes the creature. What started as a 212 knight assault team has been cut down to a few dozen. While only a dozen knights remain in the arena, there are more battling in the perimeter outside. Confident in his victory, Count Dooku asks for their surrender.
Look!
Around the survivors, a perimeter create. I've had the most peculiar dream. If Dooku escapes, rally more systems to his cause, he will.
Hold on! Aim right above the fuel cells. Good call, my young Padawan.
The Jedi have amassed a huge army.
That doesn't seem possible. How could the Jedi come up with an army so quickly?
We must send all available droids into battle.
There are too many.
Pilot! Land in that assembly area!
Yes, sir. Sir, I have
5 Special Commando units awaiting your orders, sir.
To the forward command center, take me.
Attack those Federation starships, quickly!
Master Yoda, all forward positions are advancing.
Very good. Very good. This is not looking good at all.
We must get the starships back into space.
My master will never allow the Republic to get away with this treachery. I will take the designs with me to Coruscant. They will be much safer there with my master.
Concentrate all your fire on the nearest starship.
Yes, sir. Move all quadrants to Sector 515.
Look over there! It's Dooku! Shoot him down!
We're out of rockets, sir.
Follow him!
We're gonna need some help.
There isn't time! Anakin and I can handle this!
The clone army, with Jedi at their head, arrives in full force. The first battle of Geonosis begins, and it's a feast for the eyes filled with ships, vehicles, and infantry covering every inch. The formidable Venator-class Star Destroyer bears a haunting silhouette to Imperial ships to come. The Venator is a cruiser, and in naval warfare, a cruiser is the largest class of ship next to dedicated aircraft voidcraft carriers. That being said, the Republic cruiser is a multi-role capital ship. It can carry and support approximately a battalion of troops, with 2,000 dedicated bunks and the correlated messes, gyms, and ranges to accommodate infantry. Along the length of the Venator are hangar bays capable of supporting all sorts of void craft, including logistics craft, dropships, bombers, fighters, and logistics bays for which to resupply smaller frigates via docking. The Venator is also no slouch in a gunfight, boasting more than 50-point defense lasers, hundreds of artillery cannons, and 12 powerful turbo lasers. While a majority of their operations were in the void, they were also capable of atmospheric flight and even landing in hospitable terrain or designated landing pads. Although at 1,200 meters long, not any place would do. The low-altitude assault transport is the premier dropship of clone forces. It is capable of transporting a platoon of 30 clones in addition to equipment for a few Jedi Knight stowaways. It also carries a fearsome complement of weaponry. On each wing can be mounted 4 light air-to-air missiles, while on the spine are mounted heavy mass driver missiles. It also has 4 laser turrets and 3-point defense lasers. These craft were designed to fight their way to the drop off their infantry and gear while providing supporting firepower, and then fight their way back to their capital ship without skipping a beat. The All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer, or ATTE, is the Walker ground transport and battle tank of clone forces. With 6 legs and a low center of gravity, the ATTE boasts a large mass driver cannon along with 6 laser cannons. While bringing to bear formidable firepower, it can also carry 20 clone troopers to the front. In order to blast the fleeing Federation starships, the clones have self-propelled heavy artillery turbo lasers, or SPATs. These are walking capital ship lasers, bringing the power of the void down to ground level. They successfully scythe through a Federation starship, bringing it back to the dust. Simultaneously least powerful and most impressive are the clone troopers themselves. Clones were generated off of the genetic template of Jango Fett, considered one of the most infamous, strongest, vicious, and most legendary Mandalorian warriors of his time. Their lifespans were accelerated, effectively cutting the galactic standard lifetime of 100 years for humans to 50. But this means the clones are combat ready by the age of 9. The clones viewed their Kaminoan engineers and their drill instructors as their parents, knowing nothing else but a military life. By the time they were able to talk and obey orders, they were put into a rigorous education program going through classrooms, simulations, physical training, and marksmanship training daily to become the most proficient soldiers in the galaxy. Despite their human instinct for paternal and fraternal affection, they were believed to be little more than genetic products by the Kaminoan engineers. The engineers viewed them as ultimately disposable tools, no matter how well they were crafted. They are still the peak of soldiery, though. They are genetically and culturally engineered to be obedient, deferential to commanders, self-sacrificial, proficient in combat, and to put the mission before themselves. To that end, they are outfitted with a void-proof body glove covered in plastic metal alloy plates. While it will not stop direct blaster fire, it blocks shrapnel, is heat and cold resistant, and dissipates energy efficiently, making survival much more likely. It is better to have a clean hole burn through your torso and to recover in a Bacta tank than it is to have an unblocked blaster bolt rupture and cook all of your vital organs. Clone troopers are armed with 3 primary weapons: the DC-15A blaster rifle, the DC-15 blaster carbine, and the DC-17 blaster pistol. Strangely enough, blasters in the Star Wars galaxy are not laser weapons, but are instead plasma guns. They superheat blaster gas, in this case a gas named Tabana, using a laser, put it into an expansion chamber controlled by magnets, and then accelerate the plasma bolt out at incredible speed. The DC-15 rifle is longer to accelerate the projectile to greater distances. The carbine is a short-barreled variant for close-in firefights, and the DC-17 pistol miniaturizes the package and is primarily issued to commanders, pilots, drivers, and logistics personnel. As discussed in previous episodes, the Trade Federation and the larger Confederation of Independent Systems, led by Darth Tyrannus, also known as Count Dooku, broadly deployed droids as their troops. Droids can vary in intellectual complexity from simple automatons working a menial task to protocol droids with arguably more advanced knowledge and intelligence than a biological being was capable of. Most droids were programmed to be incapable of harming sentient life, with a notable exception in security, assassin, and battle droids. The B-1 battle droid was the main infantry of the Confederation of Independent Systems, also called Separatists. While they were easily damaged and destroyed, they were also easy to manufacture and maintain. The Trade Federation had been defeated by wiping out their command ship during the Battle of Naboo, and as a result, newer models were given local and individual autonomy, resulting in personality quirks. Despite their fragility, the B-1 battle droids made up for this in vast quantities fielded. B-1s would often suffer great statistical losses, but in turn overwhelm and kill the much more expensive and specialized clones and Jedi. Several planets manufactured the B-1 models, with a major hub being Geonosis. Droidekas are the rolling death machines built on Kola 4. More expensive and difficult to maintain, they made up for this in high mobility, heavy plate shielding, some models being outfitted with energy shields, and with a high volume of fire sporting a twin blaster on each arm. To counter more advanced threats, the B-2 battle droid was developed and fielded, also being manufactured on Geonosis. With improved armor, wrist-mounted blasters and missile launchers, and the strength to beat a clone to death with its bare hands, the B-2s were substantively more feared on the battlefield. Although they were designed dim-witted, they seemed to have a toughness and viciousness not observed in the B-1. The OG-9 Spider Droid and the DSD-1 Dwarf Spider are also both Geonosian constructs inspired by the fauna of their planet. The OG-9 boasts 2 laser rays capable of easily cutting through armor and flesh. The DSD-1 has a nose-mounted laser cannon and brings heavy firepower into difficult-to-reach spaces. While the OG-9 offers firepower to compete with enemy armor, the DSD-1 can crawl into tunnel networks in the bowels of ships to support droid advances and blast anything worth blasting. The IG-227 Hailfire droid tank is a fast-wheeled, multiple-launch rocket system capable of firing smart munitions across the battlefield to rip apart enemy armor and infantry. They are manufactured by Howar Chal Engineering Corporation, primarily made up of the insectoid Z Char race, hailing from Charos 4. The Lucrehulk Federation battleship is a modified cargo hauler designed by Hosh Kessel from the planet of Nimban. Originally intended for mass cargo transport, the ship separated into 2 parts. At its center was a 3,000-meter wide sphere that acted as a command center, living quarters, and logistical hub, and surrounding it was a nearly complete ring originally designed for cargo. When the Trade Federation acquired Hosh Kessel and realized they needed to defend their holdings, they converted the model into a warship. Massive arrays were installed to command droid armies, the cargo bays were converted to hangars, and the ships were bristling with armament. The Lucrehulk had a tractor beam, 51 turbo lasers, 520 laser cannons, and 185 point defense lasers. On top of a small army of droids to run the ship and maintain it, the Lucrehulk could launch 1,500 Vulture starfighter droids and hold a droid army of 140,000, along with the tanks, transports, and landing craft required to get them into the field. Smashing the command spheres while they're on the ground and vulnerable just means one less of these monsters you have to deal with in the void. It is revealed that the Geonosians were the original designers of the Death Star, and they have passed the plans on to Count Dooku. The Sith Lord flees the oncoming Jedi, but is hunted by Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. We'll have to cover that in our next episode. If you like this video and want to support the channel, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for new videos, and comment for the comment gods. Your viewership alone helps me in the algorithm and is appreciated. If you want to take your support a bit further, please become a YouTube member or support us at patreon.com/counterpoints. Check out the other videos on the channel, support our sponsors, and I'll catch you in the next one. Weapons are a part of my religion, as this is the way.